Welcome to Softcore History.
Hello and welcome back to Softcore History. My name is Jake Goldman, and I'm joined, as always, by my two co-hosts and friends. First, I'm going to pitch it over to Rob Fox. How you doing today, Robert?
I'm doing okay. I'm doing good. Nice little Monday. Not doing much. Booked us a guest for our first movie watch-along.
What?
For this new content that's coming up.
Oh, yeah, that's right. The stuff we're going to do.
Yeah.
Premium content.
That's right. Get ready for some premium content. And the person that just said that on my other side is, as always, Dan Regester, who is
Dan the Lighthouse Regester.
Dan the Lighthouse Regester, freshly inked.
That's not even creative.
Lighthouse Dan.
Dan has a lighthouse tattoo that covers his entire forearm on the right.
What a lighthouse keeper is called.
Okay.
What is a lighthouse keeper called?
It's probably something awesome.
It's probably lighthouse keeper. It's probably fucking stupid.
What is
Yes, I do have a tattoo on my forearm of a lighthouse.
Yeah.
So maybe workshop the nickname.
I guess. You said this on social media. You said it. What is it?
Lighthouse keepers were sometimes referred to as wikis because of their job trimming the wicks.
All right. Wiki Dan.
Wiki Dan.
Wiki Dan.
There's
that.
so many different directions you could go with that.
Wiki. It sounds Hawaiian. Like you're like wiki.
Or just WikiLeaks.
WikiLeaks, Wiki Dan. But it's really just because the lighthouse.
It does sound Hawaiian. Yeah. Like you just brought out too hard on the islands.
Yeah.
And I mean, if you look at it at the right angle, it kind of looks Pacific.
Yeah.
Almost.
Yeah. Oh, shit, dude. Is this because of, what's his name? All your UCF Hawaiian quarterbacks? You got to go Wiki Dan now?
No, it's not because of Dylan Gabriel transferring to, where'd he end up? He ended up at Oklahoma. He go to Oklahoma? He did.
Yeah, he did.
Yeah, that's right. That's right.
He went to...
He's going to be terrible.
I know.
He's going to be really bad.
He went to UCLA first and was just like, nah, I'm good.
Yeah.
Yeah, you had a conversation with Chip Kelly.
Oh, my God. Can you imagine him on Oklahoma if they joined the SEC early? Because he would... So the rumor is that they're not going to wait out till 2025. That everyone just wants to move.
Yeah.
See, I've heard Oklahoma wants to kind of back out.
They should.
Like, Texas wants to go, and Oklahoma's like, what if we stay in the Big 12?
Yeah, they should.
Oklahoma is the one we would rather have than Texas,
Yeah,
I think, as far as, like, program-wise. Like, Texas, honestly, like, the only reason I was happy they were joining was because, like, I get to see the Gators play in Austin.
Literally, that's it.
Yeah, that was the only thing I would be excited
it's
about.
Like a bunch of, like, imagine it's like a group of, like, highly, like, decorated, self-motivated, self-made, like, tech CEOs. And then like some trust fund kid walks in. It's like he's like a Vanderbilt, but he's like the drunkest, stupidest Vanderbilt. And but then he's like, yeah, I'm the
boss.
I'm as cool as you guys now.
I'm actually the most important one.
Yeah. So I spent 8 hours of my Friday just getting work done.
It looks good though, man.
Homeboy didn't speak English, so that
Nice.
was cool. We just listened to Mexican rap.
Dude, that's pretty awesome.
Did you ever just go to sleep?
I couldn't.
Yeah.
I felt like I was a robot and he was rewiring me at some point, especially by the elbow.
He kind of was.
Yeah, he was.
He kind of was.
Yeah, in a weird way. He's kind of rewiring your DNA on that skin.
Yeah, so 8 hours. It was mostly shading. He didn't really do an outline at all. I was kind of concerned for a good 5 hours. I'm like, is this going to look good? And then it did.
It looks like the picture you showed me.
Where at any point were you just like, okay?
Yeah, his translator left like an hour in.
Oh, no.
She popped in, got me checked in, got us all set up, and then was like, all right, I'm out. I'm like, what if this goes horribly wrong?
I mean, to be fair, you had your phone, so you could have easily spoken to him.
Yeah, a few times I had to pull out the translator
Yeah,
app.
could have easily just used Google Translate.
Right.
Like we
what
live
we
in the
did.
future. It's fine. It wouldn't have been great, but you could have figured it out.
But for sure, we'll go back when I continue my sleeve.
What's next for the sleeve?
I think on the bicep, when I move up, I'm just going to go straight like 1910 steampunk, where I'm going to have a fucking Zeppelin on my bicep that's crashing, on fire.
Okay.
What's that symbolic of, Dan?
Well, earlier, Rob was saying that the lighthouse is actually symbolic for other people to avoid me.
Oh, see, here's the thing. I just thought you were trying to put out a signal to lead fairies to you.
That's the opposite of what a lighthouse is.
Actually, that's true. You're keeping fairies away.
Yeah, that's the opposite of what... You see the lighthouse and you go in any direction but where the fucking lighthouse is.
You go towards the lighthouse, but not directly at the lighthouse.
You use it as a frame of reference. You're
Yeah.
kind of like a rock. and that's the lighthouse on you.
Right.
Anyway, I actually think it looks good, Dan. I'm being sincere about that. I think it's an awesome tattoo.
Thank you.
You're welcome. You deserve it. You went through 8
No
hours.
one's really
of pain.
giving me shit for it.
No, it's not bad. That's why. Like,
Yeah, it
you
looks
got a
good.
good tattoo. That's why no one's giving you shit for it. Like,
They're
you
like, someone's hit a midlife crisis, but that's about it.
yeah.
I don't think it's a midlife crisis.
I think of
I don't think you're
Corvettes.
going to live to 60. So
Oh, okay. I was going to say,
Yeah.
like, I was giving myself credit to live to 60. But
yeah, I think 50s.
So, like, 3/4 life crisis?
Yeah, it was like 3/5 life crisis, 5.5 life crisis, that type of situation.
Okay.
Well, speaking of 3/5, we're going to be talking about African history today. So,
Which you have no right to do.
It's
yeah.
also American history. That's not African
No,
history.
he is talking about. Oh, that. Well, that's yeah.
That was a terrible segue. I should be canceled for.
Yeah.
You should, just for the audacity.
You wanted to say
I'm
the
bad
N-word
at-
before you just walk out of here?
Is that
Just do it.
I missed all of that.
Do you want to just go
don't
full
Yeah.
Rogan? Or
No, I absolutely do not. Whatever. I don't want to even talk
I
about
was
that.
saying it academically.
either.
Okay, sure. You know what? I normally don't do is say anything academically, so
Yeah.
not even on this podcast. But
Especially not this podcast.
Yeah. Today we are going to be talking about one of the most feared and terrible African dictators of all time. Typically, when you think of an African dictator, a couple names come to mind: Muammar Gaddafi, Idi Amin, Robert Mugabe. But there's one that actually doesn't get tossed around quite like the others. There's no like last king of Scotland of this guy.
Okay.
This dictator was Francisco Macias Nagum of Equatorial Guinea.
What were the years?
what's this time frame?
Yeah.
So he was the first president of Equatorial Guinea after they transitioned from Spanish power.
Okay.
And he ruled from 1968 to 1979.
I didn't
Oh,
realize they
so
were.
we're just doing modern history now.
We're a modern history podcast. Yeah.
I go modern. Rob goes to prehistory.
I tried to. I didn't
Yeah.
last time. That was my fault, though. I just had something I needed to talk about.
I also have another 20th century topic coming up in a few. Not next episode I do, but
I'll
probably
go
one after
balls
that.
deep into history next time.
Yeah.
I'll reach real far back.
So this is more of a just reign of terror type episode, and we're going to kind of run
Sick.
through.
Oh, was
How-
this man Coney 2012 before Coney 2012?
Coney doesn't sniff this guy's drawers, dude.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, Coney just had good marketing.
He really did. He had a year.
Honestly, that's half the battle is having a good PR company.
Well, we're going to get into some good PR here in a minute.
It's like Hitler. Hitler has the best PR. Like, there's people that outclassed Hitler.
Stalin.
Stalin, fucking Mao. There's a ton of Pol Pot. All
Stalin thought he could do it himself because he was a handsome fella.
Well, he
At one
was.
point of it, yeah.
Not when he was doing his
Yeah,
stuff.
but like when you're handsome at one point in your life, it's just in your brain that you're handsome forever.
Yo, 100%.
That's how I operate completely. I'm just handsome forever now.
Yeah, because
That's
you
what-
were handsome for like
You just yelled at
2
your
months.
wife randomly.
I'm handsome, love me.
Yeah,
I'll yell it.
it's fair.
I'd seethe it.
You just like
And
roll
quiet.
over in bed in the middle of the night.
I'm
and you're
handsome.
Like, fucking handsome.
Remember. Yeah, no, there's a lot of terrible dictators out here. This guy's one of them. A lot of people consider him to be the worst dictator in the world for his spree, like how much he got done in such a short amount
His
of time.
PER.
So, well, that's the thing. We talk about this all the time is you got to weigh both rate stats and counting stats, right?
Right.
Who's a compiler versus who's getting it done?
Right. Who's Emmett Smith?
Who's efficient? Yeah.
So-
Who's Barry Sanders?
He's
Right.
responsible for the depletion of 50% of the population of his country,
Okay.
which is
Okay.
insane.
Pretty good.
He
Pretty
didn't
good.
kill them all, but he's responsible
Well,
for
the rest ran off. They're like, "Get
Yeah.
the fuck out of here."
Yeah. So, for
Well,
instance,
that's weak. I don't. That's. I feel like that's empty.
Oh, you
Those are
want-
empty numbers.
you want some juicy
I want
deets?
bodies.
You want
Yeah.
some bodies?
I
We'll
need
get some bodies. All
This
right.
feels like Russell Westbrook.
Just putting up empty numbers.
Yeah, no, you'll see why they're not empty pretty soon. Francisco Macias Nguema, I'm just going to refer to him as Macias now because that's how most people
Can you just refer to
him.
him as Goon?
Nguema? No, because that's hard to say.
It's fun though.
Nguema? It's the NG that's tough for me. That's tough for a lot of Western folks. It's the NG consonant
Not a normal
combination.
combo for us.
No, it's like super common in
Francis
Vietnam,
Ngannou.
too. Do you say it Ngannou?
It's Ngannou.
Ngannou.
Said
So-
Ngannou.
No, it's Ngannou.
It's
Ngannou.
Ngannou. Yeah.
Ngannou. Like, so this Nguem, Nguem.
Yeah.
He's often just referred to as Macias, so he already has that kind of like Hitler air to him. He was
Perfect.
just referred to one naming most
I
of
like
the time.
that we're like, man, we better not butcher this butcher's name.
I'm not trying to butcher it,
Yeah.
but I mean, I'm going
Uh-oh.
to. Guess it doesn't matter.
Who cares? It's about him anyway.
So he served as the first president of Equatorial Guinea from the country's independence in 1968 until his overthrow in 1979. He's widely remembered as one of the most brutal dictators, not just in Africa, but in global history. During his time as president, more than a third of the Equatorial Guinea's population fled the country. Can't read today. More than a third of the country's population fled to escape his terror. He had entire families and sometimes villages exterminated on a whim, and he had no transition development system or national accounting system for the transition from Spanish control. And he even kept most of the treasury at his home.
Yeah, that's nerd shit.
Yeah, dude.
Come on. So I assume he played a big role in the independence?
Yeah, so...
it's like Kim Jong-un's grandpa.
Kim Il-sung?
Yeah, huge freedom fighter against the Japanese.
Kim Il-sung actually has a cameo in this episode.
Oh, sick.
Yeah, no.
Hell yeah.
This guy's like a real who's who of dictators at the time, because that's around the time Kim Il-sung is ruling North Korea as well.
Yeah, so Kim Il-sung and Mao and Chiang Kai-shek, who is not a dictator, he was the Democratic, although he might have done some stuff too, I don't remember off the top of my head. But all of those guys that you hear about, like, they were all involved in freedom fighting in one way or another. I think maybe Santa Anna in Mexico as well was part of the Mexican Revolution against Spain, the Mexican War of Independence.
Well, this is more of a parliamentarian transition of power.
Oh.
They get their independence. They earn it.
Because, Kim and Mao were fighting.
Yeah, they took it versus this, which is a more like procedural taking. It's how he treats it right off the bat.
So,
which is insane.
He basically accomplished like a democratic-ish transition and then went bananas?
Yeah.
What are you doing, dude?
No,
that is a real Trojan horse situation.
We're gonna start right off the bat with an insane fact.
Yeah, I was gonna say though, like you just kind of set everybody up. Like, oh, you can trust me. Look, we had a peaceful transition of power.
I'm doing it the right way.
Yeah.
Bang.
Yeah.
Well, starting off with a bang, he was born January 1st, 1924, which January 1st has got to be the easiest birthday ever, like to remember.
Sounds
how old
made
you
up.
Yeah.
My godson was born December 31st, like minutes before the new year.
Nice. Well, he was born in...
So, like, for his birthday, do they just drop a ball?
He's actually the baby.
Yeah, they
the
drop
New Year's
the baby.
Yeah, they just drop him.
And he's 7 now. He hates it, but they put him in diapers.
Wrap him in lights.
Just put him on a slow
he's Baby New
dropping
Year.
post.
Yeah, and what they make him do is they make him crawl out of an old man cake. There's just a cake that looks like an old man, and he springs forth from its belly.
He's Baby New Year.
Yeah.
They sing Old Lang Syne at him?
Yes.
That's good.
And they actually refuse to sing him Happy Birthday.
It's
Odd Lang Syne only.
That's such a haunted birthday party. You just have an it's German, right? Old Lang Syne?
Sure.
I don't know. Anyway.
I think it's from Luxembourg.
Mm-hmm. Maybe. Yeah. That's German. He was born in, at the time, Spanish Guinea in 1924. He was the son of a witch doctor who allegedly killed his younger brother. So great.
Killed what, Macias' younger brother?
Yeah.
Okay.
His father was a witch doctor.
What's wrong with little voodoo?
Well, nothing until you start doing, it's not patricide. What is it when you kill a son?
Ooh, I don't know.
Yeah. So there's a word for that.
I'll text my wife. Hey, what would it be called if we killed our baby?
It's not patricide. What else is
Yeah.
it? Yeah. Infanticide.
Well, for us, it would be infanticide.
Yeah.
Right now, because he's still an infant.
Yeah, for like a son.
But if you kill like a 6-year-old, what is that?
I don't know.
You know what
killing.
it's called? It's just called good old-fashioned parenting.
Yeah. Toddler side?
Yeah.
I don't know if this might have had to do with some of Macias' problems, but it probably didn't help. The other likely culprit for his terrible, the things that
Wait, did they say why he killed him?
He's a witch doctor. I don't know. There's not a lie.
He just needed kidneys
yeah.
or something?
I tried to look up the source on that.
Yeah.
And it was all in Spanish and I was actually in Catalan. So
Catalonian or whatever?
Catalan.
Maybe they needed some rain for a good harvest.
Also, first off, you can plug that into a translator.
I didn't have the time. It was a huge text. It was a PDF document. I know, but I didn't want to do it. So we're going to go with this, which
you
is...
can just say that. Just admit you didn't want to do it.
I didn't want to do it. It was like 45 pages, and I had to go to the single spot.
History, that's fine.
Yeah.
I'm just going to say he needed baby bones for a spell.
Yeah, probably. And, I don't honestly think this is the culprit as much as the other thing that might have contributed to his insanity. He went to Catholic school.
Oh, yeah, that'll do it.
That creates monsters, as we all know.
It does. Those nuns are probably fucking him up. Actually, those nuns were probably fucking him up at 1930 Catholic school.
I mean, R.I.P. Sister Elizabeth. She just passed. She was our hallway monitor. She was our version of, was it Filch in Harry Potter? Or Finch?
I believe my principal, Sister Rosella, is in hospice care currently.
Okay.
But she was, I actually really liked her, but she was a scary lady.
She was, apparently she was only 85. She just passed, but I thought she was 105 when we were in school.
She was 85 forever.
She
was 85 forever.
She looked, like my principal looked fucking 80 when I was in like 5th grade.
It's crazy when you go back and it's like, wait, that lady was only 40 years old when she was my principal. What the fuck? Kids, that many children just drain the life out of you.
What are you talking about? She's living forever.
I know. Nuns,
She's been in hospice care for like a month or something.
Nuns, in fact, crack. That's probably why they become nuns.
It's more of a bend, don't break situation. They live a really long time.
But they always look the same.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's the trade-off.
Yeah.
God's love doesn't do miracles for the skin.
It's just for the soul.
Yeah, no, nobody has to like cover their face in retina for God.
And before you talk too much shit, have you ever seen a rabbi that looked younger than 60?
No, that's fair.
Yeah.
They all look like they were the ones that founded Israel, like before it was made a nation state. Like,
yeah, I mean,
they were at the original temple lighting that shit.
Even a youthful rapper like Macias, before he shaves the beard.
Before he renounced his Judaism, basically.
Yeah. We all end up down that path.
Forever young.
Honestly, there's not a whole lot about his youth. One thing that is pretty interesting, though, is his periodic drug use in the form of bang, B-H-A-N-G. So I like to think of it as bang, the opposite of bang energy drink. Yeah. It's all of the shit of a cannabis plant, like mashed up into a pulp and then turned into a drink.
How's their social media game?
It's not good. We can make a bang energy drink.
Is it a bunch of like, I don't know, Instagram models with about 10,000 followers doing shuffle dance?
So the gritty,
EDM?
The gritty or whatever, doing that shit?
No, the shuffle dance that you do at like a festival.
That shit.
Hoop girls.
Yes, the hula hoop girls. No, they have no social media presence.
Fire.
It's a pretty old school cannabis drug. But the other drug he was really into was ibogaine, which I don't know if y'all are familiar with ibogaine.
Yes, unfortunately.
That's what
I'm very surprised you know what this is.
That's what Aaron Rodgers took for COVID, right?
God, I hope so.
No.
That would be amazing.
We did a whole episode of Drinking Bros on ibogaine because one of the other Drinking Bros came back and like was talking about how it like cleared his brain out. You take it to like fight addiction and shit like that.
Yeah, they use it a lot for people on methadone.
So you can go down to Mexico.
It's like a different variation of like ayahuasca.
Yeah, it's in the same kind of alkaloid family of psilocybin and DMT.
Hardcore.
Yeah,
it's hard.
But you have to go down to like a shaman or something.
Yeah.
Do it out of his finger bone.
They like either blow it up your nose.
You
or make it into a
hallucinate,
stew.
shit your pants, vomit. Sounds like a great time.
I remember he was saying like he was like seeing demons and like saw his dead soldier buddies, and I was just like, yeah, this got you off alcohol?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Off.
No more.
You gotta go through it.
Yeah.
The only way out is through.
No, every like ayahuasca story that I hear, or whatever the fuck this is called, they're eerily similar. Like our friend Connor Moore, I believe he listens to the podcast. He was talking about when he did ayahuasca in Peru, he became a jaguar.
Yeah, and proud. Also, he met his son.
Unborn son?
His unborn son.
Yeah.
That was also a jaguar.
Yeah.
I gotta say, it feels like the amount of confirmation bias that would happen if he has a son. Does he have a son?
No.
What if he never has a son?
You don't need it. He already lived that life. He already raised a child.
Like that's through time and space, bro.
Yeah, dude.
Time child. Get a time
time's
child.
a concept, okay?
Yeah. It's a flat circle, bro.
Just filled with loathing right now.
I did have a whole Arrowhead report if you guys didn't know about it.
Please, give us more. Give us more.
I mean, I might have to do it so I don't even have to have a child because I can just raise a kid the entire trip.
In your trip.
In your whole, just
I'll
one
live
weekend
that life.
of being a father.
This is from someone that was taking ibogaine for grief. One of my brothers was killed about 2 years ago. And after I took the ibogaine, I was immediately immersed into a space of pure light. As I was in the light, I saw my brother's head. It was moving from side to side with white flames coming off of his head like locks of white liquid light. His mouth did not move, but he was speaking to me. There was light coming from his eyes and from his closed mouth like he was facing a fan, and the fan was blowing his hair, but it wasn't hair. He said to me, "You can't die. You simply leave your body behind and vibrate into another dimension." There's like paragraphs more. I guess this felt like it lasted years to him. But that's the kind of drug this is. So he was doing that on the reg.
Right.
That's what you want out of your leader.
Yes.
I mean, if Biden was smoking DMT, I don't think anyone has a problem with him.
Probably not.
Yeah. What do you think, man? Biden would just be like, Biden wouldn't be able to handle DMT. That would kill him.
I think anything other than a glass of bourbon would kill him.
Honestly, more than that might kill him. Yeah.
I mean, he just like an ice cream cone a week is all he can handle.
A strong gust might kill the guy.
Just
let's be fair.
Just a little sugar.
Yeah. Just to feel something, you know. Some people have said that Macias may have been a psychopath, potentially enabled by a reported childhood trauma, like, his brother dying and stuff like that. And that his behavior could have been affected by other possible mental illnesses. And this combined with the drugs could have unlocked something like truly, deeply terrible. Because, I mean, like, even like, if you have like schizophrenic tendencies or like pure psychopathic, like I think it's cluster B disorders, like hallucinogenics and psychoactives really aren't a good thing for you to be taking.
Also, most of those things, people that I've come across that do those on a fairly regular basis kind of have a God complex.
Yeah.
Where they are the center of the universe.
Yeah, it's like, I'm actually the master of my reality. And it's like, well, yeah, when you're tripping balls, sure, you're in your house. You're painting, whatever. Like the trees are talking to you, whatever, dude.
It's just an easy way to get a sense of superiority. Over someone else.
I've never liked people.
You haven't been to alternate dimensions? Well, let me fucking tell you. It's the same way as like, people say all the time, like, like victimhood complex, right? Like people use it to get attention, blah, blah, blah. I assume these people are the same way.
Yeah.
Like it's just really,
it's competitive drug use.
Yeah. It is a fucking mode of it. Like it's a method to get attention.
Which you would at least they have an excuse though. I haven't done ayahuasca, but I still have a God complex. No.
Yeah, right. Yeah. I don't have a God complex for no reason. Well, we have a podcast.
Yeah.
That's our God.
We control this reality of somewhat facts. And
really no facts.
Like any great tyrant, though, we're going to start with his early career. So Macias starts his career off with failure. 3 failures, to be exact.
We're painting any of them?
No. Unfortunately, he doesn't have a classic.
Nope. Is it any art at all?
No. It's just government. He failed the civil service exam 3 times.
Who trips balls constantly and then wants to go be a bureaucrat?
This is just the beginning of the enigma that is Macias.
Why do you have to take an exam to be a politician?
A lot of people would argue, why don't you have to take an exam to be a politician? But however, through sheer determination, he eventually became a court translator for the Spanish administration over Spanish Guinea at the time under Francisco Franco. So we already have some nice tie-ins with other dictators. Yeah.
What do you, through sheer determination, what could he speak 2 languages?
He became a translator. Yeah. He could speak Spanish and.
But he probably grew up speaking both.
Yeah.
So where's the sheer just like give me the job?
I guess they just eventually let him do it.
Yeah, as long as he could write.
Yeah. So he started climbing the rank pretty quick, and as a court interpreter, he eventually began taking bribes to manipulate his translations to absolve or incriminate defendants.
Sick.
So the Spanish saw that, and they were like, man, this guy plays such an important role in all these trials. So he must have like just influence and talent for leadership, and they just began to rapidly promote him up the ranks.
Well, to be fair, if you are a piece of shit who will do anything for your own self-gain or whatever, yeah.
You do.
Yeah. Pretty good.
No,
Pretty
I mean,
good.
of course, and under a dictator administration, they're like, whoa, this guy makes so many important decisions.
Yeah.
Like, he looks like
no scruples.
He's very corruptible. Yeah, let's get him.
If we pay him, we're going to get whatever we want out of this motherfucker.
So this was his promotion order. First, he became an assistant interpreter, then an interpreter, then the mayor of Mongomo, which was his hometown.
Oh, that feels like
seems like a jump.
Yeah.
No, feels like
they were like, you're better off not even doing shit in the court. We got to get you in like power.
Yeah.
Then he became the minister of public works after mayor of Mongomo.
So what? He started building roads and shit.
Embezzling funds to build roads.
Yeah.
And then finally, he became the deputy president of the governing council, which is just, I guess, like the in-state version of like a parliamentary body.
Here's what I want to know: what was this colony even giving Spain at this point?
Problems, because they were peaceably, pretty much like willing to separate. Like there's a transition plan already in place at this point.
It's not big. I don't know how natural resource rich it is.
It's on the Atlantic coast of Africa, just under the bulge part. You know where it is.
What kind of blood diamonds did they have?
I'm sure they got some.
Yeah, is it a blood diamond situation? Because otherwise,
well, you know what? Let's look up the natural resources.
It seems like Spain has it just to have it. You know?
Yeah,
Well, sometimes you need that, right?
You're like, hey man, we got colonies, bro.
Just something to call your own.
Yeah. We're not total shit.
Ooh, it is endowed with arable land and mineral resources ranging from gold, oil, uranium, diamond, and columbite tantalite.
I'll do it. But also,
petroleum wasn't really discovered later until like the 1990s, but they had all those like mineral
oil,
resources.
diamond, and gold. You kind of have
Well, they
it
didn't
there.
find the oil.
The oil was later, but still gold, diamonds, uranium.
Gold,
that's all.
how much though? How much?
Noteworthy amount. I don't know the exact
Enough
amount.
for Spain to just be like, meh.
I don't know.
I don't know how much gold was there actually in California that we
A lot,
sold.
I think.
It was in the rivers, dude.
This bill of
Yeah,
lies
people were just like tripping over
to get people to go to
gold in the river.
Colorado.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, damn
In
it, stubbed my toe on one of
California.
them gold nuggets in the river again. So the funny thing about that promotion period that I mentioned, that was in the span of a year.
Okay.
So that's how quickly he
Just
moved
crushing
up
it.
rank. Yeah.
Corruption pays.
He-
I mean,
Yeah. It helps you get up quick.
all the nerd interpreters were still interpreters.
Yeah, he was like, "Oh, you know what? We can just change how things go if
Yeah.
we take money."
I bet if I like lie and say that this like rich guy didn't do whatever he's being accused of, that would behoove me.
Yeah, so he already like historians started noting though, like in this part of his career, he's already exhibiting erratic tendencies and a penchant for just loving dictators in general.
Okay.
So like his first trip up to Spain to like it was for the 25th anniversary of Francisco Franco taking power. He was there to like honor him, and then in a conference to discuss the future independence of Equatorial Guinea at Madrid, he suddenly began an incoherent eulogy of the Nazis, claiming that Adolf Hitler had wanted to save Africans from colonialism and only got confused, causing him to attempt to conquer Europe. Like Hitler's whole agenda was to free Africa.
So I'm sorry, Hitler was like a Pokemon. He got confused and hurt himself in his confusion.
Yes.
Okay.
Have you been playing Arceus yet?
I have not. No.
Oh, I just got it. It's pretty good.
I will say, who do you think between the three of us would be the best dictator?
Rob.
You think Rob would?
Yeah, Rob. Rob's an easy one.
He's kind of a scrawny man. I don't think they would respect
No.
him.
Sorry, was Hitler beating the shit out of a lot of people before he got power?
Yeah.
He was just fucking strong arming motherfucker.
Well, he was on meth. You don't fuck with meth.
I mean, I was on Adderall for a lot of my childhood.
You trust a man, you don't trust a drug.
I don't think I would be a good dictator. I'd be
What
good.
dictators actually? How many dictators have you seen that looked like they were fucking dudes up?
That's the scariest part about most of them. It's like, how is this guy
Right.
keeping all these people in pure terror? Like,
Yeah.
just constantly.
Yeah, but would you be the face of the franchise? Is what I'm saying. The country. Like, are you going to be on posters everywhere?
Yeah, you know, I think I could have pulled it off back in the 20s, 30s, 40s, but now you need a better face.
You need a better face.
Of the
But
three
also,
of
that
us,
face isn't even really the dictator, right? Like that face is the face.
Right. So
so you need
it's-
like a puppet,
Yeah.
and then you need someone pulling the strings.
you're pulling the strings behind the scenes.
Right.
So who's Dick Cheney? Who's G-Dub?
I don't know. That's a good question.
I could be Bush.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah.
You be Bush and me and Rob will be Dick Cheney.
That's fine.
yeah.
Works for me.
He eventually became the deputy prime minister of the autonomous
Wait, I want
transit.
to go back to more to the Nazi eulogy part.
Yeah, so basically the whole thing was he was like, hey man, Hitler was really, his whole thing, he was just trying to free
Just
Africa.
misunderstood.
Yeah.
Just misunderstood.
He was trying to free Africa and everyone was like, man, you can't do that. So that's why they started a war with him.
Yeah.
And he got confused and was like, well, I got to protect myself. So
Yeah.
that's why he steamrolled all
Just
the
a
other countries.
big misunderstanding.
Yeah. That's,
That is always, and I know I've accidentally broke Godwin's law like 4 times in this episode already.
Well, we do it every episode.
I usually try to be better about it. I know we always break it at the end of when we pick a Hitler, but I mean, man, that's always a red flag when someone's just like, well, actually looked a bit more. I got really into the Hitler analytics. You know what I mean?
Ran the numbers.
I'm trying to read between the lines, and I found some interesting things.
No good statement has ever been started with the thing about Hitler was
Right.
Yeah, like
Right.
it doesn't work that way. You see, the thing about Hitler,
I guess
that
if
no
you're-
one gets.
If you're just doing this like weird route that cleans your brain out every fucking day,
Yeah, no, I mean if
You
he's
might
doing
start to-
Ibogaine, also bang or bang,
Bang, bang.
BHANG, bang.
bonk.
Yeah, so that like on top of that, just copious amounts of like liquid marijuana juice, which I want to try.
Yeah, but
try it.
arguably, I don't think he's as bad as the founder of Bang.
Bang Energy.
Yeah, like they're both. It's kind of like a toss-up.
Have you seen? Side note: have you seen How to with John Wilson on HBO?
No.
He walks into his house to get an interview with them.
The bang guy?
Yeah, it's pretty funny. I'd check that out. But so he became the deputy prime minister of the autonomous transition government from Spain in 1964 and was primed to run for president in 1968 for the presidential election. It would be the first free election of Equatorial Guinea. However, shortly leading up to this, Macias started to fear he himself was becoming insane. And he went to a clinic in Madrid to seek advice. But get this. He figured out, you know what? I'm not insane.
Right.
I should run for president.
Yeah.
But it's,
we all have those thoughts, right? Am I crazy? No, everyone else is crazy.
Yeah. And so that's kind of, Macias had that like Principal Skinner moment. It's like, am I crazy? No. It's the world that's mad. It's the children who are wrong.
You could make the argument anyone that runs for any president of any country is an insane person.
Yeah. I just like that he checked himself into a clinic and was like, you know what? This is a lot of work.
I'm fine.
Yeah. So during the lead
I'm
up
not
to...
going to improve myself. I want to make everyone improve themselves.
Well, I'm going to make the world conform to me.
Yeah.
I appreciate the self-awareness, though, man. I can't imagine the invasive thoughts he was having where this guy was like, fucking, whoa. Holy shit. Yeah. How did I just think that? I gotta go. Like, he's just walking through Madrid or something, and he's like, fuck. That is the 8th baby I've wanted to eat.
Dude.
I keep seeing babies and just wanting to fucking eat them.
So, yeah, what's even more insane is like what you find out what he starts doing once he gets into power. Like, you're going to be like, what were his intrusive thoughts?
Right.
They had to have been bananas. So, his speeches, I thought this was pretty tale as old as time as well. His speeches were often erratic leading up to the presidential election. He would start pointing at houses owned by Spaniards and be like, hey, you guys like that house? If you vote for me, you'll all be living in a house like that one day. I promise you that. You better vote for me. And then, like, often during his speeches,
That just sounds like a political speech.
right.
Yeah.
But
That just sounds like basically at this point, every genre of political speech, and I know people like both sides this or whatever, but it's essentially just like, I will make your dreams come true.
right.
Did he promise that the Cowboys would win a Super Bowl in his lifetime?
I don't think he was aware of the Cowboys.
Okay.
Yeah, he might have known about them.
I mean, this is the 60s. They're around.
They're not like, it's not like the 90s Cowboys, though.
Or like the rugby sevens for his nation would bring home gold.
Nah, I don't know
Anyway,
too much what he promised. But
If you're not a Texas listener, Google Don Huffines. I think it's Don Huffines. Just Google his political commercial. He's running for governor. He's running to the right of Greg Abbott. On the what?
He's trying to
in the primary.
Greg Abbott.
Calling Greg Abbott basically like a lib cuck who has let Florida lap us in conservatism. Like Florida and DeSantis is killing Texas and being like way more rad conservatively wise.
Putting the rad and radical.
And one of the things he's
One of his
angry,
promises.
One of the things he's angry about is that recently Florida has won more Super Bowls than Texas, and that he's going to bring Super Bowls back to Texas, winning them. So this man has literally promised, and he only showed the Cowboys, not the Texans.
Yeah.
So this man
he already gave up on the Texans.
This man basically like implicitly promised a Dallas Cowboys Super Bowl if he is elected governor.
Because Ron DeSantis,
Look it up.
The next 4 years.
Ron DeSantis is what won the Tampa Bay Buccaneers their Super Bowl.
Yeah.
I hope you
think
guys
so.
know that. Yeah.
I
It wasn't
agree.
Brady.
No, he was the one. He was the one mic'd up with Brady in the helmet.
Yeah.
It's like, Tom, just chuck that shit, bro. Anyway, he would also just go on just tangents because he'd forget his speeches a lot because, he was on drugs and shit.
Yeah.
So
wait, was he still doing Ibogaine? And,
probably not Ibogaine because he
Bang?
probably couldn't function, but he was doing bong all the time. But yeah, he would just like riff and just talk about random shit when he didn't know what to talk about anymore. And
was he fun? Because that's all people
yeah,
need.
people loved him.
Yeah,
They
that's
were
all
like,
people want. Look, I don't want to get like all political or whatever like that, but it just sounds a little bit like Trump. I'm not saying Trump's a dictator and like that.
No,
I'm just saying the riffing and all that stuff. It just people are like, I love this. This guy says whatever the fuck he wants,
because it's such a nice diversion from the standard politics speak that people are like, oh my God, this guy doesn't know what he's saying half the time. He's a man of the people.
Right.
Yeah. So people often regarded him as fearless and charming because he just said it like it was.
Yeah, that guy's telling it like it is.
And the only free election held to date in Equatorial Guinea, he defeated Ondo Edu in a runoff, and he was sworn in October 12th, 1968.
Oh, they had to go to OT.
They did a runoff. So first order of business is what we're getting into this section. After assuming power.
Just write murder on a document.
Yep. Macias began to hold inflammatory anti-European speeches and claimed that there were plots to overthrow him. This is within the first month.
They were... What? Spain was like, take it.
So seeing what was going on, Ondo Edu fled. He was like, I am out.
Even though he wasn't European?
Yeah, no, he was also
African,
yeah.
but this guy was just like, no.
This is bad. No. In March 1969, so this is just a few months after he's sworn in, he arrested and executed his own foreign minister on treason charges. The method of execution was bringing him into his office, arresting him right there, and then throwing him out the window.
Rad.
Yeah, just like, hey, we're not going to go through all this court shit.
How big
here's
of a
the door.
fall?
I don't know.
Second story, third story,
Enough to kill him.
Or
yeah,
hurt
but
him
was it like a Batman situation where he's like, this fall won't kill me? He's like, I'm counting on it.
I kind of
like the guy's like, this fall might not kill me, and he's like, I hope it doesn't right away. Yeah. That's what you really want.
You want pain. Yeah, you kind of want to see. The whole point is to show the suffering.
Yeah, you drop him, and he's pretty fucked up, but he's not
like a
dead.
Mortal Kombat spike coming out of the ground.
And then you just rope that area off.
Straight pike.
And then you make it a museum.
Yeah, and then you invite people to walk by.
Check it out. Treason. Look what it does. Can you imagine just like walking by the Capitol building at the time and be fun?
Yeah. Like,
government got cool.
Didn't think I was going to miss the Spanish.
Immediately.
But here we are.
So, Macias also put out a campaign to capture Edu. Edu was captured and brought back to Equatorial Guinea, where he and several other senior officials were killed at Black Beach. Black Beach actually became basically a site of a ton of different human rights violations. A lot of political...
Sounds like Panama City Beach, if you know what I mean. You know?
No.
Raging, bro.
I mean, yeah, probably the same amount of guns were fired, on Panama City Beach as Black Beach. But yeah, they'd bring political dissidents and, dissidents to the beach and kill them.
At least you get a nice view before you die.
Yeah, it's like that vampire that was executed in the first Blade movie. They take him to the beach for the sunrise.
Mm-hmm. Actually, I want to see what Black Beach looks like.
You get to see water.
A fucking beach.
It's like, what if it's just the worst? I'm going to look at it. It looks kind of decent.
Pretty nice. Is there a hotel by there?
There's a hotel.
So it's a resort now.
This is the only good... I mean, here, this is the only picture I can find.
Yeah, that doesn't look that nice.
No, actually, the other thing is just slum hotels.
Yeah, so you got to think with all the history that it has, they probably got a good deal on it.
On the land?
On the land.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You just buy it and sit on it.
Yeah, I don't know if you want to go there.
I don't think I want to go to this country.
No, actually, you don't.
Is it haunted? Because we might have to do a
Halloween.
It'll be haunted with our ghosts if we go to it. Seeing what's going down, like he's killing off, opponents and stuff like that.
The fact that they got the dude in another country and brought him back is pretty terrifying and impressive. Because remember, the North Koreans just executed somebody a couple years ago in an airport.
Yeah,
stabbed him with a fucking syringe of poison or something.
Yeah.
Like that.
Oh no, I thought it was like a Tajiri in WWF where he would spit out the poison into someone's face. I think that's what happened.
Oh. It was kind of like that.
It was like
a Dilophosaurus situation.
Yeah,
it was like a kind of they were doing like an interview with the person, but it was a fake interview, and they poisoned the guy. Yeah,
and then I think they also shot somebody out of a cannon.
Did they really?
They do that in country, though.
Yeah, they do that.
You got to go to the Hermit Kingdom to get the good stuff.
Un gets he gets some bad publicity, but he's pretty good at killing people.
Yeah, although
he's creative.
His dad was still the one that fed generals to dogs. He was going.
That's not that creative.
It's not good. It's still pretty evil. So the Spanish government, seeing what's going on and all the anti-colonialism rhetoric, they organized the evacuation of all of its citizens. And the British ambassador at the time when this is happening described the I cannot pronounce this to save my life.
That's fine.
Equatorial Guinean capital as being in a state of total chaos.
Sounds right.
This is the fun part. You're going to love this, Dan. You like good, weird dictatorship?
Yeah.
Thing number one, on Christmas Eve, so he's barely been the president a year, he had 150 suspected dissidents brought to the football stadium in Malabo. And then he started playing across amplifiers in the entire thing, the Mary Hopkins song, Those Were the Days, just on repeat.
Perfect.
And he like half of them were strung up on nooses and half of them were shot to death. But here's the kicker. It's Christmas Eve. All the guards doing the killing were dressed as Santa Claus.
God damn.
And you see, we get blamed for throwing snowballs at Santa
Yeah.
in Philadelphia. But, I mean, you go to another country, Santa's killing you.
Yeah, so essentially you knew about Santa's crimes in Equatorial Guinea.
Can you imagine, like, those were the days? Just, I haven't listened to that song. I imagine it's some whimsical old song.
Yeah.
Those were the days. And then, like, Santa's just gunning you down with, like, a fucking Kalashnikov.
Yeah, that sounds like, God. At that point, are you even crying, or are you just like laughing as you're murdered?
Fucking
You're
horrified.
Like, what the fuck?
It's like, wait, man, we thought independence was going to be so cool.
Yeah.
This is my end.
Yeah.
I will say, great argument for colonialism.
Really?
Really, it's really just everybody's missing Spain.
Well, that's the thing about how democracy gets set up, right? You got to make sure you set it up right.
Right.
Otherwise, it's fucked from the start.
Well, considering it wasn't a democracy that set up this democracy,
Yeah.
right? It was a weird Spanish dictatorship. Fell a little doomed from the start.
Yeah, for sure. At this point, Macias was like, man, I think I might be crazy. He has a second time where he's like
coming back around.
He's like, man, I might be crazy. So again, he seeks help.
Is he just like waking up like the way like we wake up after a night of drinking and we're like,
am I a bad person?
fuck, dude, I feel like I did some shit last night. Fuck, do I have a drinking problem?
Never again.
Yeah. He's just doing that. He's like, dude, there were so many Santas in that stadium.
Was that a
I don't
dream?
even fucking understand.
I think I remember Santa Claus killing someone.
Oh my God.
So he, after this incident, he makes a trip to Barcelona in secret and visits a psychiatrist for help. Although little was known about what advice the Spanish expert gave him, it's safe to say the treatment didn't take.
Yeah. Yeah. So the advice clearly wasn't step down.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was probably like, well, be better.
Yeah.
It's just like, go with your gut.
I gotta say, I've read a lot of history. Soccer stadium executions typically don't play.
Yeah.
Like they typically not a glowing thing in the history book.
Yeah, it's kind of like Saddam's, what was it, like Black Friday or whatever, where just like he takes power and then like everyone he starts calling out names and everyone's getting let out to the back to get shot in the head.
Yeah. Or fuck, dude. That was like one of the most famous things in the 90s was the Taliban soccer stadium executions.
Yeah. This guy pretty
It
much
was just an empty, but unlike here where I assume they were still allowed to play soccer, the Taliban like banned soccer, so the stadiums were just for executions.
It was like a killing facility.
Right, yeah.
No, this was like, hey, no game today. Let's get some Santa Clauses up in here. It's Christmas Eve. Time to party.
Gotta be brutal to play that next home game.
It's like, ugh.
You're like, oh my God.
They never turned the song off.
Yeah. There's just brains on the field.
I know.
Ugh.
Sam Darnold thought he saw ghosts.
Did he think he saw ghosts?
No, it was.
Oh.
He just said that when he threw like 4 interceptions in a game.
Oh, that's
He said
weird.
I didn't
seen
know that.
ghosts.
He was
Yeah.
seeing ghosts?
Yeah.
What?
Also, during his treatment, Macias persisted in consuming large amounts of drugs to help himself get better. So,
Always works.
yeah, no,
Always
definitely
works.
It's like, man, I went on this weird Ibogaine rant where I killed everyone with Santa Clauses.
Yeah.
I think I should take more Ibogaine to get over my Ibogaine
Some
insanity.
bong, whatever. Yeah,
Bong,
it's really
yeah.
just like how, if you're feeling anxiety, what you should do is just drink constantly.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
It's not a perpetual self-sustained downward black spiral. So now we're going to go through a laundry list of decrees. So he's been in power for a little bit now. May 1971, Macias issued Decree 4115, which repealed parts of the 1968 Constitution that he became president through.
Right.
And it granted him all direct powers of government and institutions, including powers formerly held by the legislative and judiciary branches, many of which he killed, as well as the cabinet of ministers, also many of which he killed.
Well, gotta do what you gotta do.
A couple months later, in October 1971, Law 1. It imposed the death.
You could tell me Law 1 is anything, and it doesn't sound good. Like, there's
No,
a difference
the
between...
first law?
Like,
Yeah.
the First Amendment sounds okay. The first law sounds fucking terrifying.
Yeah.
First commandment.
Yeah.
Well, it doesn't really stick with that one, but Law 1 imposes the death penalty as punishment for threatening the president or the government. Insulting or offending the president or his cabinet is punishable by 30 years in prison.
To be fair, that does sound like the first commandment.
Yeah,
Thou
yeah.
shalt love me
It's-
above everyone else.
Is that what it is? I thought
Yeah. Number 1 is honor God.
Well, interesting you say that because he abolishes all forms of religion and declares himself God. There is no God, but Macias is on the currency.
Sick.
This guy just does all the
rad.
he does all the heavy hitting shit that dictators do.
A bit weird. He's dressing his executioners like another religion's saints.
Well, Santa's more kitschy and fun.
That's true.
Yeah.
That's true.
On fast forward a year, July 1972, a presidential decree merged all existing political parties into United National Party, later the United National Workers' Party, and Macias as president for life.
I really like the liberal bent he gave that.
Yeah, just like workers.
Hey, man, we're with the blue collar.
Yeah.
We're the Workers' Party.
Now,
all of this while the economy is collapsing.
Right.
Yeah.
well, yeah, of course. But does the rest of the world know what's happening at this point?
Let's swap out no with care.
It's
Or care?
Yeah, the UN doesn't start getting involved until the very end. Okay. So yeah, he declares
Again,
himself,
like you said this earlier where you listed off their natural resources, but like there can't have been that many of them. Like they might have had that stuff because you give a crap when there's a lot.
Yeah, especially
right?
especially for coming up on this next part, you would think the West would be more involved if it was more of a resource thing. But so obviously he declares himself president for life, but. Because he basically told Spain to fuck right off from the get-go, Macias had to align with other global powers.
Okay.
So naturally, he decided to pal up with the Soviet boys in the Eastern Bloc, North Korea, and Cuba. Okay. This is the insane move, though, that I love about Macias.
Yeah. He's just going with all the bad boys.
Yeah.
But they're not communist.
They're just a totalitarian dictatorship.
Right. I mean, I guess they tossed workers into the political party.
And aligned that way.
So they could kind of be like, yeah, totally. We're fucking
help us out.
Yeah. But I mean, like, that's a fucking farce.
So what he did, though, by aligning that way, he allowed the Soviets to channel weapons through Equatorial Guinea to the MPLA in Angola, which was like the freedom fighters there.
Yeah.
But while he did that, he repeatedly threatened the Soviet Union. He's like, oh, yo, if you want to keep doing this, you're going to send me fucking money or else I'm going to tell everyone you're funding these freedom fighters. Yeah. So his first alliance, he immediately blackmails.
Right.
Yeah.
Perfect.
The fucking Soviet Union. Like, he's just like, nah, you know, fuck you guys.
This is the Soviet Union. What year is this?
This would be...
I mean, they're about to fucking invade Afghanistan.
Early 70s,
They don't give a fuck.
Yeah, they're doing a lot of proxy shit.
People forget, like, there's most of the Soviet genocide and shit was under like Stalin and shit, like, or before Stalin, but they did unspeakable things in Afghanistan,
dude.
Like they committed insane war crimes in Afghanistan, shit that we wouldn't even begin to touch. Like not on a wide scale, anyway. Like there's Abu Ghraib and shit like that, but like nothing like what the fucking Soviets did.
What'd they do? Just like mass murder?
Oh yeah, mass civilian execute, not on accident.
Yeah,
like all kinds of civilian deaths.
It's like that'd be a lot easier if this place had no one in it, kind of shit. Yeah. So actually, according to Macias' daughter, because of the North Korean connection, him and Kim Il Sung were like boys.
Nice.
They just became the best of friends.
Love that.
Yeah. So
good for him. Going
back to government, though, he essentially built every part of his rule on three pillars. One is party, which he is the president forever, eternal.
I thought you meant like he believed in partying. That was his core concept.
Yeah, more bong, baby. Let's go. I mean, he did like to party, just in the most head ripping way possible.
That wasn't that was part of it for sure.
Yeah, it's like this is a party. He was also really good at establishing a youth military, which is very common with African dictators.
Child soldiers, yes.
Yeah. And then obviously it all kind of lies on the superiority of his clan of people in Equatorial Guinea.
So some fun little ethnic stuff.
Yeah, so it gets a little ethnic. He filled most important roles with family members or high-ranking members of his clan. One in particular was Teodoro Obiang Nguema Mabasago.
Not sure why you're tossing an accent on that.
Mbasago. I can't pronounce it. This was his nephew, and he served as the military governor of Bioko and vice minister of the armed forces of Equatorial Guinea. As time went on, he ordered the mass murder of government ministers. He kept killing ministers, members of National Assembly officials, and even members of his own family, which is very akin to the Kim family in North Korea.
Yeah.
Intellectuals and skilled professionals were a particular target, with human rights researcher Robert Klittenberg describing Macias' policy as deliberate cultural regression. So he's trying to make everyone dumb. Yeah. Because if smart people can criticize you.
Right.
So this is a quote from him, the president's paranoid actions included mandating the death of those who wore spectacles.
Nerds.
So, killing people with
So
glasses.
he was Ogre from Revenge of the Nerds.
Sorry, Coop.
Nerd!
You would be dead in Equatorial Guinea for those glasses, bro.
Are contacts fun?
Yeah, dude, whatever,
fucking
man.
get 'em.
You just don't let people know you have them, because then you're a nerd.
Okay.
He banned the use of the word intellectual, and he destroyed a lot of the boats in the country to stop his people from fleeing by ocean because it's on the coast, and therefore he banned fishing, which was
sounds
an
good for the
industry.
economy.
Yeah, terrible for the economy.
Yeah, sounds great.
He was known to order entire villages destroyed just to eliminate one suspected dissident. His prisons, most importantly Black Beach, were notorious for human rights abuses, like I said earlier. Prisoners were often humiliated, starved, tortured, and murdered in front of their families without due process. There was actually...
It would be, by the way, that'd be fine if there was due process.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
The due process is the issue there.
Well, then we start getting into due process,
Right.
which is...
I mean, as long as you have a trial and then you're stripped naked and have like your wiener chopped off in front of your wife and children, and then you're like...
It's fair game.
The inflated life. Yeah. Because, your kids are crying and the wife is like, he had due process. There's nothing
No,
this
it's
process was-
perfectly
yeah.
legal. Yeah. So when there was a trial at all, dissidents faced kangaroo courts organized by his militias that he set up. During one trial in 1974, the defense team for the accused requested a death sentence for their client because they knew it's like, if we try to say he's innocent, they'll
Right.
kill us.
Yeah.
So it's like, nah, man, this guy should be dead.
Yeah.
We're his defense.
Yeah.
So that's kind of the trials he would get. And usually the main form of
He had to be like, dude, I'm crushing it. You see the defense didn't even want to do it? I didn't even say I was going to murder them.
100% rate with the prosecution.
yeah, just crushing the best prosecutors in the world, all about
Just batting
1,000.
1,000, yeah.
The normal mode of execution, other than being shot on Black Beach, was just being beaten to death with wooden clubs outside the courthouse.
Good Lord.
Yeah. So the abuse in prisons and all this stuff was overseen by that nephew I just mentioned, Teodoro, who will come back up.
Cool. What a fun job.
Teodoro really enjoyed mocking and torturing the prisoners himself too. He took it upon himself to dole out the justice. Following his repeated purges and unpredictable policies, the country's government began is funny here, was already falling apart. Macias' rule, under his rule, the country had neither a development plan for transition from Spanish rule, nor a national accounting system for government funds. Actually, this is one of my favorite parts. Macias had the governor of the central bank killed in Equatorial Guinea, and then he was like...
Probably a nerd, probably had glasses.
Definitely a nerd, definitely had glasses. And when he did that, he was like, so free money? So he took all the shit from the national bank and moved it to his
What, do
ancestral
you think
home.
this guy was guarding the vault? He's like, I want more money. I bet that guy just guards the vault at night. That's his job, right?
Yeah, so
That's
basically
what all the demons told me.
that's what the people in my head said when I
Yeah.
was doing Ibogaine. So yeah, he took all the shit and brought it back to his. So eventually, like during this period, he also moved everything from the capital to his home back in Ngabo.
So he had his own like little Scrooge McDuck vault.
He had a
of money.
Scrooge McDuck vault. So get this, actually. He kept all of the national funds either in suitcases under his bed or in a special hut that he built on his property.
Yeah.
So he had, yeah, like an actual hut. He had a
Hut.
reinforced hut.
Yeah.
It was called a hut. That is the structure.
Was it a hut?
It was a hut.
Okay.
Yes.
I feel like a bunker or something like that.
There
would
was
be
a bunker
better.
there too,
Okay.
but that was for he
I
actually.
like the bed money, though. That's my favorite.
Can you imagine having the GDP under your bed?
Right.
That's like what?
That's
That's insane.
Jesus Christ.
I imagine that's just like not bills. What do you call them? Like bonds and shit like that. Really,
Yeah.
it can't be a G like fucking material
literal
shit.
gold,
yeah,
paper
like,
money.
He's sleeping on like a 30-foot high pile of gold.
Right, yeah.
Prevents inflation.
Yeah, no, you can't flood the system if
No.
you're the only one giving it out. But he also did have a bunker at his place and a prison that held about 300 people. He had a prison on his property just for funsies.
Look, if I was even the most murderous dictator of all time, there's a line between like work and personal life that you need to keep.
That's why you'll never be a good dictator, Rob. You don't respect the grind.
I won't keep a prison on my own home.
Right, like you keep work at work.
Right.
When I get home, I'm off the clock.
Yeah.
Not Macias.
I don't torture where I eat.
Speaking of nerds again, he hated statisticians. They were heavily repressed, and as a consequence, little economic data was generated during the 1970s.
Gotta say,
on purpose.
His anti-nerd rhetoric, I'm kind of for.
It's consistent.
Yeah.
No
he
money ball.
He does not stray from it.
Yeah. And what do you want out of a politician more than consistency?
when the Equatorial Guinean director of the Institute of Statistics published demographic data considered too low by Macias, he had him dismembered and spread across the field to help him learn how to count.
I don't know. I don't see the connection.
He thought it was a good singer, I think.
Yeah. You count now?
Count yourself.
You like apples?
I'm going to relocate your position to all over my yard.
Good Lord.
Yeah. So basically this stuff starts coming to a head. The UN starts realizing what's going on, realizing or just finally paying attention.
Finally giving a crap.
Yeah, because at this point, like 50% of the population has fled. Most people that are educated are either gone, exiled, or executed. And, their stories getting out.
You got to deal with all these refugees.
Yeah, once there's a refugee crisis, the UN usually steps in. So the summer of 1979 is when all this is coming to a head. Macias decides to organize the execution of several members of his own family, leading to several members of his inner circle fearing that he was no longer acting rationally. That's what got him, by the way.
Yeah. Oh, now.
Yeah. Whoa.
Wait, what's they kill me?
That's crazy.
Some fucking Santa Claus shows up with a shotgun outside their house.
Not like, today, guys.
Macias has gone too far.
Yeah. All the other stuff.
This is fucking bananas.
Fuck nerds. I agree.
Yeah.
Fuck nerds.
But you come after me?
Fuck nerds.
That's
just an Easter
bridge
bunny,
too far.
like ready to go with a machete.
Yeah.
So basically, like it's
summer, so it wouldn't be Santa.
It's fucked up to me that he's like a precursor to modern video games. Like he's putting his characters in skins. You know what I mean?
He's just playing Fortnite.
Yeah, just playing Fortnite. There's like 60 Santa Clauses just murdering people.
Yeah. On August 3rd, 1979, he was overthrown by Teodoro, his nephew, that liked killing people.
It's always the ones you most suspect.
But Teodoro, the reason was Teodoro's father, Macias' brother, was among those murdered by Macias.
Oh, yeah.
So he was like, okay,
wild.
I can't just enjoy killing people anymore.
Macias' his one brother's death might have fucked him up, but then he killed his other brother.
But he took out his brother, but he didn't take out his brother's son. Seems like he's
sloppy.
Little sloppy. He's not
covering
his tracks.
His nephew was like inner circle, like head of the military, I guess, like head or vice admiral of the military or whatever you want to call it. So he was like definitely the muscle. So he needed him.
Yeah, but I'm sure he'll be perfectly fine if I kill his dad.
That's where the logic. You can see where he started to slip, right? 1979. Not anything before that.
Yeah.
That's when he started making bad decisions.
We were having good times. I was just allowed to go into a jail at 2 a.m. drunk and chop people's feet off. But Macias is getting weird.
This is too much. He killed my dad. So he flees to the woods and he's captured in a forest on August 18th. When his wife heard of his overthrow, she returned to Equatorial Guinea to protect their eldest son. And then the 3 children, Monique, Maribel, and Paco, remained behind for their own safety and consequently then fled to North Korea.
Love that.
Dude, his family lived in North Korea for a long ass time.
Really?
Yeah. So they lived in North Korea for the remainder of their childhood.
How were the kids?
They're not in North Korea anymore. They do interviews and stuff every now and then. Monique stated that Kim Il-sung honored his friendship to Macias by acting as their guardian and financing their education. So they lived like royalty in North Korea too.
Sick.
They got 2 dictator lives.
Good for them.
That's an insane.
Yeah.
It's like, oh man, we went from one weird hermit kingdom to another, got treated like royalty the entire time.
Fuck yeah.
After tribunal, he was executed by firing squad at Black Beach, the same place he sent so many people to die.
Oh.
Very poetic.
Yeah.
It is
Circle of life.
Was it poetic or convenient?
It's probably right there.
Yeah, a little bit A, a little bit of B. What, are you going to build a new electric chair for him, right?
Yeah,
Just
no.
toss him in the old electric chair.
Exactly.
What are we doing here?
Couple other things too. So this is a fun thing I threw in at the end here. When his countrymen tried to flee, though, during this time, like it was pretty bad because Macias had created a mine line on every major road out of the country. So he prevented
a mine line. So he just laid landmines in the roads
everywhere.
Cool.
On the way out. So many people were being murdered or like dying trying to get out of this country that it was nicknamed the Dachau of Africa for a while.
What a name.
Yeah, dude.
Good Lord.
Yeah. So finally getting those props, like getting that Hitler comparison he probably always wanted.
Just getting maimed by mines.
God, dude, it's so bad. There's so much more I could talk about, but it would have been like 3 episodes long. But the creepiest thing to me is the guy that had so much joy killing all those people, his nephew that finally overtook him. He is still the president to this
He
day.
lives happily
sick.
ever after. Yeah.
He is the second president of Equatorial Guinea. Yeah.
Happy for him.
So that is
Definitely don't go there.
we shouldn't.
Yeah.
We're dissidents right now, so
Yeah.
we're just making fun of
They
it.
say the good die young.
Nah, man. Teodoro's still rocking in the not so free world.
Kicking it.
Yeah. Just LIVIN.
But yeah, that's
Has he chilled out?
I
You
don't
would think so.
I don't know. We could. You want me to
With
look
his
real
age?
quick? I mean, Teodoro.
At some point, you see like your uncle getting shot on a beach after at some point you've got to be hungover from just beating people to death.
Yeah, he is the second
gets
longest consecutively serving current non-royal national leader in the world, after Cameroon's Paul Biya.
How old is he?
He is. Let me see. He's 79. So
Okay.
he's
Let me see a pic.
he's seen some shit.
Wow. So
Yeah.
that's a psychopath.
Yeah, that's him in 2014.
He honestly
Hold
looks-
up. This way.
Yeah,
This way.
here you go, Dan.
He's wearing glasses.
I know.
They must have changed that spectacle law. But yeah, man, that's the story
Fucking
of
nerds.
Macias Nguema.
Fun.
Yeah,
Never heard of him.
Nope.
Seems like a dick.
it's
Don't
just crazy that like
really
you hear all these
know-
other like African dictators. So I've been on an African history research kick because it's like that's the one I just never dive deep on.
Right.
And I was like looking at dictators. Obviously, Last King.
Where
was
is
down.
this country?
It's on the west coast of Africa. Here, it's like where the like bulge is on the west coast, and it slims
The
down.
bottom of it.
It's the bottom of the bulge.
Okay.
I believe it's one of the places we raided for slaves back in the day.
Sick.
More than-
It's pretty small, right?
It's not big. Yeah. So he's
Hence why,
You can do whatever you want.
right.
yeah
Yeah.
largely ignored
He's essentially ruling Boise, Idaho.
Yeah.
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 with a lot of diamonds and uranium.
You got to be doing more
Well, who's
than
to
that.
say Boise doesn't have that either?
No one's looked. Probably.
Yeah, no one's-
They were like, well, potatoes. What else left to dig for?
The real gold.
The gold is the golden Yukons, baby. That's right. So what'd you guys learn?
Learned about a new African dictator. I learned that doing too many psychedelics does make you insane.
Yeah, if anything, it just confirmed that everybody that does psychedelics too much has a god complex, and it ends tragically.
Yeah, I learned that if you're already crazy from seeing your dad kill your brother because he's a witch doctor.
Well, but I don't think he understood the context of that killing, which
No.
is his dad needed baby bone dust and kidneys.
Probably
like
needed
a
it for the
liver.
ibogaine.
Yeah, for fucking spells and shit.
Yeah.
If anything, he didn't respect his dad's.
I learned
he
that-
didn't respect his father as a small business owner.
I learned that you can just make a massive jump from translator to mayor.
Yeah.
Pretty easy if you corrupt.
Yeah.
If you're corrupt, you can do it.
It feels like there were a few steps in between.
Not many. It was a year.
Like, he seemed
he got
vastly
4
underqualified.
promotions.
No, there should have been a few steps.
Oh yeah, absolutely. There should have been some roadblocks, some checks and balances.
Yeah.
But you don't have checks and balances if you murder everyone.
Yeah.
I there's probably not enough people that were running for president of that country because they just didn't want to. Nobody wanted to step up and take that role.
The other guy that ran in the runoff got murdered. So
Was
'cause he lost.
Kind
Yeah.
of normal.
I imagine he was normal, but who knows?
Who knows?
Yeah,
he
I
might
didn't-
have been an asshole too.
They could have both been assholes.
Yeah,
They,
like really.
I mean, really, if you think about it from like if you zoom out for a minute, this place was ripe for the picking. It wasn't a place that people were fighting to keep control of, like Spain. If it was worth as much as people probably wanted it to be, people would have kept it.
Yes.
So it was obviously just ripe for the picking for
Yeah.
corruption. And as always, transitioning, like you said, from a dictatorship to democracy,
Quote,
a parliamentary, probably was fucked from the gate.
Yeah.
But yeah, who's the Hitler? I mean, this is the easiest one, guys.
I'm gonna say Ibogaine.
Ibogaine is the drugs.
Yeah, drugs is my Hitler.
Okay, Nancy Reagan. How about you, Dan?
His brother.
His brother?
Yeah.
The current president, or no, the one that he killed?
No, the one that his dad killed because that set off everything.
So his brother being killed by his father. So his brother being dead makes him Hitler.
Yes.
Love the logic. I'm going with Santa Claus.
Santa.
Santa. I don't know which one, but one of them.
Man, those fucking guys, those fucking guards.
They
had to be like, dude, what?
All right, guys, new uniform day. New uniforms, get them.
Oh my God, like I have to hang like 5 people. Like he's making me. I'm gonna do it obviously because he's gonna hang me if I don't. But like, what the fuck?
Right. It was just Santa Squid Games.
Kinda, yeah. Except there's no way to win. That's it.
Well, the game was rigged from the start.
Yeah, in Squid Games too. Mm-hmm. Spoiler alert. Yeah, that's the Santa Claus Massacre is actually what got me to research more, and it was just insane. So I had to talk about it.
Also, man, stop killing people in soccer stadiums.
They're for fun.
Right.
Sports are for fun.
Good Lord. Also, if there's no one there to watch, what is the point even of doing it in the soccer stadium?
Someone found out about it.
Because
easy cleanup.
In those Taliban is it? You just turn on the sprinkler system?
Roll in another field.
Yeah.
Just roll that one up.
Yep.
Push it out.
Yeah, like the Cardinal Stadium in Arizona. They just roll. They have the retractable field.
I suppose if you're like the Cardinals and you have the retractable field, then it makes a lot of sense.
Something tells me they didn't have that
Not
in Equatorial.
then, no.
Yeah, no, not in Equatorial Guinea.
Well,
I don't think they were.
Maybe they're ahead technology wise. Like,
they weren't ahead anywhere.
It wasn't like Wakanda.
Yeah, sure wasn't.
Okay.
Whatever the opposite of Wakanda was, that's what Equatorial Guinea was during this time.
Man, what if they really went dark with Black Panther?
They kind of did. There's a line in there that's like refugees bring refugee problems.
Yikes.
In that movie. Because they were like, hey, man, we're like the most technologically advanced country on earth. Should we bring in some refugees? And one of the other like dudes from Wakanda was like, dude, refugees suck.
That's actually the direction I want them to go, is now that Chadwick's dead, the next Black Panther just an awful dictator.
Well, she is an anti-vaxxer, I guess. According to, whatever. She's like, I'm not taking the COVID vaccine, blah, blah, blah. Everyone's mean to her on Twitter about it.
Oh, is the next Black Panther going to be a woman?
It's Shuri. It's the sister in the first one.
Okay.
But that's mostly funny to me because, like, she was the queen of the internet on the first Black Panther. And then she was
until she talked.
Yeah, until she talked.
These damn people and their opinions, man.
Don't open your mouth.
Yeah, don't say anything. Well, you can always check out softcorehistory.com for merch.
Yeah.
We have a new design going up.
We have a new shirt dropping.
It's our best yet.
Yeah.
Hoodie too? Are we doing a hoodie too?
Whatever we want.
Yeah, we can
Whatever
do a hoodie.
Jake
You want
decides
a
to do
hoodie or a
after this
sweatshirt?
episode.
I want a hoodie.
Just because it's a Unabomber?
Yeah.
To make it,
Hoodie, T-shirts, long sleeves too, maybe.
Yeah, so it's a Ted Kaczynski. It kind of looks like a hit of acid, almost, the design that Dan made. So,
it's fantastic.
Yeah. So check that out at softcorehistory.com. That'll be going up soon, or by the time you hear this episode. And please leave some reviews. Follow us where we need to be followed. Subscribe to us on Apple or Spotify.
At Softcore History on Instagram.
Yeah, check it out. We got some good memes going. We're collabing with our friend Alex Buscemi. He's putting up some good content as
Been
well.
on the show before.
I was with him yesterday.
Nice. Where'd you guys
Sick.
go?
East Side.
Cool. Well, that's it for the show, guys. Hope you liked it.
Don't ask for their approval like that. Such a beta.
I wouldn't be a dictator. That's why Dan would be the face.
Yeah.
I'm just pulling the strings.
Right.
Yeah. For Rob Fox and Dan Regestra, I'm Jake Goldman.
You just got soft served.